I woke up this morning, I did a 5-mile run, and I just had to give thanks that my body was in shape, that I could breathe and I could run. It was a simple thing, but it was actually an amazing thing. So we want to focus first and foremost as a mighty people on our health, because health is wealth. You know, our history is a really complex one. We've had doctrines here and there. And over my lifetime, it's been a journey to find out how, as a mighty people, did we end up in this position? What happened to us? So this program is to try and link those puzzles together, dealing with our culture, our spirituality, our history. But first and foremost, if the temple is not right, if the temple, which is this body, is not balanced, how then are we going to understand who we are and how we can rise up as a mighty people to take our claim, to take our stand in this world? So what have we been doing during this time of silence? Have we been focusing on the temple? Today I have a couple of guests, 2 guests that have joined me. We're maintaining our safe distance in this audience, in this studio. So, we're bringing in our guests one by one, so we can adhere to the rules. So we have a gentleman with me today, whilst we're continuing in our series around health, and he's done an amazing feat with his own health. He was clinically diagnosed with diabetes and high blood pressure. Means the doctors, he had gone through certain things in his life, and he had a clinical diagnosis with regards to his health, on his blood pressure and diabetes. And if you know anything, wherever you find us in the world, these 2 ailments or these dis-ease seems to be rife in our community. So last week we talked about how to sort of center the body through meditation and gentle exercise. Today we want to talk to my guest about how he managed to do this amazing thing with natural herbs. So I want to bring you now, my guest, live and direct, the colorful Mr. Fire Steed. Welcome to the show. Welcome to Conversations.
Blessings to all you, and blessings to the people who put the show together.
It's great to have you.
No, thank you. I feel blessed.
So we started talking again because we grew up.
That's right.
In the same neighborhood.
Yeah.
That's what you would say, Florida.
Yeah, we grew up.
And I want to point this out, that in the UK, we as a people, we tend to not focus on which island you're from. We see ourselves as one family here.
Yeah.
I lived in America for a while, and I know it's all about which community, the Trinity community, the Jamaican community. Over here, wherever you're from, once you look like us, we're family. So I know you're from Barbados, and I'm from Jamaica.
Barbados.
Where else, right?
Parents from Barbados,
yes.
And I'm what you call an LBC, London Black Cockney.
Same here, via Jamaica.
Yeah.
So I've been here since I was 5 years old, but yeah, we're EastEnders, right?
I'm a Cockney.
But we're one people.
Yeah.
So we connected about 7 weeks ago, maybe 2 months now.
Yeah.
When you were on another program.
That's right.
I heard, your story was communicated to me, and you actually came to my rescue with some trinkets and some herbs.
Okay.
And having heard your story, incredible, and put myself on the herbal program that you introduced to me has been incredible. So I thought it'd be only fitting to have you here to talk more about, give us a little synopsis about what happened to you and what you did to overcome to be the healthy person that you are today.
Okay, well, the first thing is I collapsed in 2006 with a thing called high blood pressure, where my blood pressure was off the Richter scale. And obviously, I went to a hospital in London where they sorted me out, and they sent me to the doctors to get the pharmaceutical or the chemicals, the tablets to go into my body. And I never questioned it. They said to me, you're going to be on these pills for the rest of your life, this high blood pressure. So I just said, okay. I went religiously every month, got my prescription, paid for it, took these pills. And the thing about the pills, they're only so big, you just about can see them, and you would never think that what the damage that these pills can do. But I took them religiously from 2006 to about 2015, 14, 15, where I then collapsed again.
So can I just high blood pressure? What is happening in the body for that? You know, for this diagnosis to happen.
The first thing is lifestyle. The lifestyle you live and what you put into your mouth.
What were you doing? What was your lifestyle?
My lifestyle, I was a dance teacher, and I had clubs all over the place where I was going teaching. I was working in schools teaching dance, and I made my food and my intake McDonald's, KFC. I don't really want to promote them. Chinese, and basically I ate everything what you call fast food. Everything.
So you had a fast lifestyle.
Fast lifestyle.
Probably not sleeping.
I started sleeping maybe 2 o'clock in the morning after getting in from teaching. Yes. And that time is when I was still eating at 2 o'clock in the morning and 1 o'clock.
And so the food you were eating is actually fast food, not really home cooked meals or wholesome meals. Okay.
Well, it's not just the food, it's what it was made from and the process of the food. Because the one thing I was not eating was vegetables.
Okay.
Was not eating vegetables or any fruit at all.
Okay.
And these are the things that we actually need in our body, because what they've got is electrons and protons. And our body is electricity, basically, which I didn't find out till a few years ago. Being an electrician, I never connected the both things, you know?
So fast forward from there, you were diagnosed with high blood pressure.
Yes.
And you attribute that, you can see now that it was down to diet and lifestyle.
100%.
And then
100%
what happened
down to
then? Yeah.
Then I collapsed again, where I started to lose vision in my eye, my right eye. I collapsed again and went into a coma. Next thing I knew, I was in a hospital again with a thing called diabetes. And with the diabetes, when I actually got to the hospital, they said to me, "How did you walk in here?" Because a friend of mine is the one that actually took my blood when we came from a gig, and he said, "Your blood's at 39.9. It didn't mean nothing to me. But he then woke up his wife and he said to his wife, "Fire's blood's at 39.9. She said to him, "Tell Fire, go straight to the hospital. Do not go to sleep. Do not do anything but go to the hospital." So that's what I did, where I struggled to get to the hospital because my eye kept on shutting and going. And when the right eye goes blind, the left eye goes straight up into the ceiling, and all you can see is kind of peripheral. Okay. So I struggled to get to the hospital.
And how long after you were diagnosed with high blood pressure did then the diagnosis for diabetes come in?
About 10 years.
10 years gap between the two?
10 years.
So you were on the tablets for high blood pressure?
Oh, yeah.
Still maintaining or still doing your fast lifestyle?
Still doing the fast
eating
lifestyle.
the wrong foods?
Eating the wrong
food. And then
food.
wham, the next disease came in?
Was diabetes, which is a blood disorder. Because high blood pressure is a blood disorder. I heard you use the word just a minute ago, which is called balance. So basically, my body had gone out of balance. Yeah. And most of the sicknesses that we get in our body, whether it's a headache or arthritis or something in the knee, is because your body's telling you it's out of balance. A lot of people don't understand that where you got is your fuse box and you got your computer all here in one place. And if you can imagine your fuse box in your house and you've got loads of fuses, which are called miniature circuit breakers, and all the time the circuits are going on one by one.
So you've 10 years apart, you've been rushed to emergency because you've collapsed again. Your right eye is now losing sight. It's also affecting the mechanics of your left eye.
That's right.
What were you prescribed at the hospital?
Diabetes pills.
Okay,
another
more
pill.
Tablets. Okay.
So I was decided more tablets, which are the same size as the last tablets, but being so small, I just cannot imagine that these tablets could do so much detrimental to your body. So once I was diagnosed with diabetes, the major thing that I came to notice is that they said to me, the doctors, the hospital, now you are being diagnosed with diabetes, all the medication that you've paid for, you don't have to pay for no more. And any medication you want to get is free. They gave me the free medication, the free for your blood pressure. They gave me a meter to do my finger so I could test my blood every day. All that became free. Even the little slips of paper that they use to do your blood, they're like a little tube was like £20, but that was free. And I thought to myself, wow, I've got a result here. I don't ever have to pay for medication again, you know?
So how long did you take your the medication for diabetes for?
Well, I took the medication for diabetes from around about 2014 to 2018.
And had your high blood pressure start to improve at
Not
this
at
point?
all.
Not at all. So
Not at all.
So
because what it is that our bodies are electrical. So what they're trying to fix us with is chemistry. So with the food that we eat, which is all GM, and the tablets and the medications and vaccines we take are all chemicals. So when we're trying to fix our body with chemicals, you're going into chemistry. When our body is electric, and we need to look at physics to fix our body, because we are electrical beings and we work by electricity and vibration. So in the food we eat, we need to eat food that is vibration. So that's
Hi, my name is Imani, and I'm the daughter of Gabrielle from the Real Card app. Today, I will be telling you about the coronavirus. 1. Stay home. 2. Wash your hands. 3. Wear a mask. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.
that taking of my eye to see what the problem was. They actually showed me my eye picture at the end. And I never thought that my eye is connected to my brain. And where the eye is connected to the brain, you have got blood vessels going down. And what they said to me is that your blood vessels have closed down. So that's why you're going blind. So then I looked at it and I thought to myself, okay, I'm connected to my brain. And then I started to research Moringa. And from the research, I started to understand my body's electrical. And then from understanding my body's electrical, I started to research in a doctor called Dr. Grayson, who was from the 1920s. Then I found another doctor called Dr. Sebi that then started to explain a little bit more. But because I am electrical, I'm an electrical engineer. I was
started to piece the whole thing together.
Yeah, I started connecting the dots because I never looked at the body as an electrical instrument. And once I started to connect those dots, I then now are able to basically say that our body is built like a car or a house. It's all got components. They've got things to flush the system, which is your toilet. It's got a central heating system, which is water pipes that carries the water around the house, which is our bodies. We've got a blood system, which is the blood system is your wiring. So all these things are part of your body, and what happens is all of it works together in sync. But if something becomes out of balance, it then tends to make other things out of balance go wrong.
So you started with moringa.
Moringa
Powder.
Moringa powder, which
Not
is
the
directly
seed.
not the seed.
Which is something you've spoken to me about, which makes a lot of sense.
That's right. The moringa powder is basically it's basically the moringa powder is the leaf from the tree. Now there wasn't a lot of research done about the moringa seed. But what happened, a lot of people started to go to their doctors with problems in their stomach, where they've been sucking the seed, but the seed is so powerful, it has burnt a hole in their stomach.
Is it too acidic, the seed, probably?
No, it's not too acidic, it's just so powerful.
The strength of it.
It's the strength of the seed.
So if you're taking moringa, so I don't want to intervene too much, because I want you to tell your story without me asking you questions, because I wish we had more time, but it's very interesting how and very powerful how you did your own research and studied the herbs that you needed for your specific situation.
That's right.
And I used to take moringa seeds, and because people were saying it's so great, and I remember thinking it's so awful.
Yeah.
But then when I spoke with you, you said no, the seed is too strong. You need powder form.
That's right.
So
the leaf
form, ground down, and it's more palatable, more digestible.
That's right. Because the moringa seed is so powerful, you can get a dirty glass of water, drop a couple of seeds in, and it will clean it. But also what they've used the seeds for, which I don't really want to publicize, is that where they were using lightening cream to lighten the skins, a lot of the Africans and black people, to get their skin light and taking the first pigment of skin off, most of those chemicals have been banned. But what they've used now is the moringa seed. They're full of tub full of moringa seed, dip themselves, and it takes the first part of layer of the skin off, which is the part that keeps you from getting cancer and the UV rays going into your body to give you cancer.
That's another program, actually, skin bleaching and skin lightening, which seems to be a pandemic. I'm going to call that a pandemic amongst our people. And as we move on with our shows, exploring who we are as a people, we're going to get into some of this psychological defect that affects us, for us to believe that we should strip ourselves of our melanin because for some reason, somehow, it makes us more attractive and more acceptable. That's another story.
Okay.
But as we move forward, because I'm conscious of time, you started to look at moringa.
Moringa powder is my first point of call.
Cleansing your body.
Yeah.
Was that to bring your sight back?
To repair my eye.
Yes. And
because,
you talked about,
repair my eye, because the moringa is the highest green in the green family, because you've got things like kale, you've got things like cauliflower, you've got things like spirulina. Anything that's green is always going to be high in proteins usually for your body, But the moringa powder was the first point of call. From the moringa powder, I then went on to finding out more things, like another herb that I found, which I never knew about, was a thing called neem, the neem tree. I found another herb called triphala, which basically, triphala is another herb. It's blended like the moringa, but what it is 3 flowers that are blended together, that the only place it grows is India.
So very quickly as we round up, doesn't time fly? And we're going to have you back on again as this whole kind of situation relaxes.
Yeah.
You also used various other products or herbs to cure yourself, because I remember you mentioned that you had gangrene in your foot. You nearly had your foot amputated.
I had gangrene in the foot as well. I had gangrene. I had a thing called shingles.
Yes.
Where once I found out what shingles is basically chicken pox or herpes. A lot of people don't know they're carrying that gene, and it manifests itself in different ways. Some people, it manifests themselves in the mouth, in the gum, or giving them a coleslaw.
Yes.
And with me, it manifested itself all around my body, down the bottom of my foot, around my back, was all full of shingles.
As we round up, can I ask you to just, I don't want to cut your story, but I have to, because time is upon us and we have another guest following along in the line of health and well-being. What were your most prominent products that you would advise someone who would be in your condition, the audience out there across the world, to focus on, and where can we find you?
Well, one of the products that I would always say is black seed oil from the Nigella tree. Black seed oil.
This is an Ethiopian.
From Ethiopia. There's stuff you can get from India, or you can get it from India, Bangladesh. It also grows in the Mediterranean.
Metavital black seed oil.
This is from Ethiopia. It's the most potent oil, Ethiopia. Then one of the other things is to shut off the mucus. That's most of the diseases that in your body, 99% of them is through mucus. And the other thing that I came across was the magnet bracelets. Because what the magnet bracelet does, and the bracelets do, what they do, they shut off and reverses your blood polarity from AC to DC, allowing not the mucus or anything like the radiation to come into your bloodstream.
I've been wearing this bracelet for the last 2 months, and I can tell you that it's absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
We're going to round up. You do herbal toothpaste, and I stopped using fluoride toothpaste for the last 25 years. I've not used fluoride toothpaste, and that's very, very important. And we can go into that maybe a little bit later with our guests. But tell us very quickly about the herbal toothpaste, where we can find you before we go into our next...
The herbal toothpaste without fluoride. Fluoride was invented by Adolf Hitler's cronies, which it was there for killing the Jewish population. And they put fluoride in our water, they put fluoride in our toothpaste, but it's a poison straight away, yeah? So all these things are there. But one of the places you can find me at Herbal Mix in Croydon on White Hart Lane.
If you're in the UK.
If you're in the UK. You can also find me or email me at ilovesalsa40@hotmail.com. I will answer any of your questions. Or you can just basically look for me on Facebook or the internet. Just type in my name, Fire Steed, Stead, Dancer, and then you will find me on there. And also, if you look for my phone number, 077-202-18001. I'll repeat that, 077-202-18001. So you can find me there. But
thank you.
Any questions anyone has, if I don't know it, I always know a man that does. My name is Fire Steed.
Thank you so much. We're going to thank you, Fire Steed. I can see comments coming up on the screen, but I'm not able to view them because the screen is quite far away and I've got really poor eyes. So we're going to have to talk about how I can improve my eyesight. I just want to say thank you, Fire Steed. Thank you so much. Bless you. You're doing a beautiful work in the community because I've seen you out. You've been like on a Trojan out there at this time when people are locked down. You've been on the road making sure people's health is safe. We bless you. We want to give the Most High thanks for you. Whilst we're going to go to an ad break now, whilst we bring on our next guest, and that is Dr. Stephen Sally from the Marion Dina Foundation. Thank you. Welcome back, family from around the world. We're broadcasting live, streaming live from on MediaNet TV UK with our alliance, Flexx FM, over there in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, South Florida. We just want to say thank you We're here now with Stephen Sally. If you've just logged in, we've just finished talking to Firesteed on how the mighty Firesteed, I should say, the colourful Firesteed, on how he managed to reverse the diagnosis or the illness that he had, which is diabetes and high blood pressure, through the use of herbs, which the Most High has given to us, has given to the world as a way to nourish and heal ourselves. Now, I've got a really interesting guest, Mr. Stephen Sally. For those of us who are in the UK and Africa, you may remember Professor Sally from the 90s. I remember because your father had a very powerful product that we were taking in our community to heal ourselves of many, many diseases. And your father sadly passed away, and you graciously have been taking up his work and progressing. You know, you do a fantastic work in the community. So welcome to the show. Welcome to Conversations with CJ Rose. Let's just tell the world a little bit about Stephen Sally,
yes,
the Mariandina Foundation, and what you do.
Okay, basically I'm a nutritionist. I work basically with nutritional herbs, vitamins, minerals. My background originally, like your previous guest, is in electrical engineering, but after working with my father for about 8 years, I've literally it's become a passion of mine, and I love helping people. I think the most important thing we have at this time is we have to look at we have a heritage of healing, a tradition of healing, as well as also a culture of healing. Our ancient African ancestors really put down what they call the fabric of healing from nature. So we were always based on plant-based medicines and plant-based herbs and vitamins and minerals. What my father did was to really gather a lot of the ancient knowledge and ancient wisdom from the different parts of Central and Eastern Africa and bring about a way in which he could actually provide people with a way of creating a sense of ease and affordable use of nutrition that could actually combat a wide variety of conditions. Today, and what you're finding that today's world, we're in a state of emergency, what we call a health emergency, and we have to really take into context that what we're feeling today is really many years that have been built up to a plan of action that has been put together by those who wish to have an agenda around many other aspects that we've been hearing about in so many WhatsApp videos. So yes, we now need to be aware that our health, which is truly our wealth, is under attack from the very fabric of our existence. And we are facing a major epidemic at this point, a pandemic, but yet at the same time, health is also the cornerstone of our very existence, which is the birthright that the Creator has given us.
Absolutely. And I just want to pick on something you said about in our ancient traditions. And, you know, as we're going to get deep into our ancient traditions over time on this platform. But absolutely, I mean, I study the scriptures, and not the edited KJV version of the scripture, the book. I call it the book. And we know that there are books taken out and books missing. And one thing that we've all heard of Moses, his Hebrew name is Moshe. Well, Moses was a healer, not just a prophet, but he was also a healer.
Yes, absolutely.
And he wrote many books on herbal healing with sounds and vibration. We're going to go into that when we get into our music platform. So this show is about trying to put the puzzle back together about who we are as an ancient people, and find our way back to, first and foremost, health. Because without it, you know, some of us think it's money or material things, but it's not. Because this temple, without it, we cannot exist. And we were given a blueprint of how we should eat and the types of herbs we should use to nourish ourselves and our bodies. So I'm so in line with what you're saying.
Oh, you know, and what is so interesting is that we're seeing that, as you were talking about my father was able to work and treat over 18,000 patients with an 80% success rate. His journey was at the height of, in sub-Saharan Africa, there's a condition called HIV/AIDS.
That's right.
Which is literally ravaging. Up to now, 90% of the world's AIDS cases are in sub-Saharan Africa. So we have to go back and really look at what we call diseases that are actually unnaturally into our environment, which you see like COVID right now and many other conditions. So my father looked and said, let me come together. He had done research in the previous seasons where he was actually researching both Western and traditional medicine. So he actually did research in the 60s and 70s that actually standardized certain treatments like atrophic rhinitis, rhinoscleroma, and laryngotract bronchitis. These are conditions that affect the nasal passage. He actually standardized how those treatments are being treated in every hospital around the world. And it was from this background of research that he went to do research into HIV/AIDS. And he came up with a formulation called Mariandina, which is a nutritional formulation made of over 99 different antioxidants, which he used to treat, and was actually appeared on CNN in 1995.
I remember.
Yeah, and also he was invited to Qatar in the Middle East as a leading doctor talking about nutritional health and well-being and healing diabetes. And now in this progression, obviously it's been 30 years since we've been in operation, and we are now in a position where we're now handling so many conditions just by using the immune system as a main foundation.
So your father, if I can just say, did in the 90s, through Mariandina, you're going to talk a little bit about the product.
Yes.
Help to reverse the process of HIV.
That's right. In
and
fact, some people came from
persecuted for saying it.
Absolutely.
Because you're not allowed.
You're not allowed. And you know what is so important? We live in a time where the truth has become the lie.
Absolutely.
And the lies become the truth.
Absolutely.
And we're living in an age of deception, an age of disinformation, an age where we are now being what they call girded down like a hard mentality into a tunnel. So it's very challenging for people at this point in time to find out. But right now, you see, just like in the good book you were mentioning, they said, let the weed grow with the good crop. And at the end, this is the time of the harvest. And at the time of the harvest, there will be sovereign. The weed will be gathered and put on fire, and the good crop will be put in the barn. But right now, what we're seeing is in that great book that we talk about, we are also facing a challenge that the people who are the enemies of humanity have conquered and grabbed the public health, and they're driving it down a road of depopulation. So we are now in a state where we are facing what we call extinction as a people, just like the Red Indians and people who are going to be carteled in. I don't want to bring it political, but if you look at the ways things are going right now, if you look at what is happening in Kenya, where they found that the tetanus jab was used to vaccinate, as the vaccination with the tetanus jab, a lot of women became sterile and have children. And also the same thing happened in a very smart way in Nigeria, where they gave out what we call sanitary pads laced with HIV and all kinds of things that we see that are really part of this wider agenda. But we have to really focus on nutrition, because that is the key to healing right now.
Absolutely. And I just want to pick up on something you said about the wheat and the tears grow until the day of harvest. This is scriptural. And a great teacher actually broke down why that analogy was used, because the writers, our prophets and our ancients who wrote the books, it wasn't called the Bible. This is new to us. It was our scrolls and script and our writings, our history. There was a reason why wheat and tears was used, because when the wheat is ready to harvest, it bows its head. It bows in submission. So let the wheat and the tears was the weeds that will go around the wheat to try and choke it. So the tears, let the wheat and the tears grow until the day of harvest, is actually quite synonymous to this time.
It's the harvest time.
This is harvest time, and we need to bow to the truth. We need to bow to the truth of who we are as a people. Find the missing bits of the puzzle. Know who our creator is. And, you know, they cannot extinct. If you're going to extinct the black man and black woman, you're going to pull the planet out of action. And that is not written. So we can't done.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm just going to say it, we can't done.
Absolutely.
And even more so when you understand who you are, and you start to line yourself up with your creator, the Most High. And we're going to go into a lot of that teaching as we progress in this program. And I don't want to take too much time talking. I want to go back over to you, Stephen Sally, about the great work that your father has done 20, 30 odd years ago. And I commend you. I've sat with you. I've experienced what you do. I've taken your herbs.
Yes.
You know, this has been a journey for me.
I know, we've been
my
through a journey today. Absolutely.
Right?
In fact, we did a consultation together, and we had so much.
Yes.
And I want to talk a little bit about that as well, because we're in a time where advances have been made in so many areas of healing and nutritional healing and what they call vibrational healing. And the capacity for us to actually begin to tap into innate knowing. The inside of all of us is an inner doctor. That inner doctor knows everything about you. The more we tune in and allow that I am presence that is in every being, because it's called intuitive analysis of intuitive knowing. So each one of us has an inner I am being that knows. And once you trust that, once you go into the knowingness of that, once you go into the wellness, you now begin to have a fabric or matrix of knowledge that allows you to now live in wellness, but also allow that in a doctor to inspire you?
You're getting deep now, Stephen, because the shows before, we were talking to Sifu Kofi, Alvin Kofi.
Yes.
We talked about meditation.
Yes.
Because the Bible hasn't taught us that the I am is within. I am that I am. This is amazing. The I am is within.
Absolutely.
And we have been busy looking for the I am on the outside when you already exist in nature. As I talked about this morning, I woke up, I could breathe. It means the I am is existing in nature. But have we been taught? We have forgotten how to access the I am from within. This is great stuff. I get so excited because what I'm going to do next time, I'm going to have you on because we need to talk about spiritual wellness.
Yes.
And spiritual unwellness.
Absolutely.
Because I know you specialize in this, and I think this is something that as a people, we have fallen into some dark spaces with spirituality.
Absolutely.
And we need to call it what it is, and we need to rectify it within ourselves.
Yes.
So that's another program, and we've got to do that.
Absolutely.
But
I want to talk about these products.
About Mariandina.
What is Mariandina, and why do we need to supplement?
Yes.
One of the things we're seeing today in the world we're living in, the food is not the same. Okay. They don't practice crop rotation anymore. They don't practice things that they practice intensive farming. A lot of our foods are being genetically modified with seedless oranges, seedless grapes, seedless lemons. A lot of our food has become what they call picked raw. So it doesn't actually ripen. If you go back home to Jamaica or to the Caribbean or to Africa, you find that a lot of the food is actually left to ripen on the vine. This is when the sun ripening process really engorges a lot of vitamins and minerals into the produce. But what happens is that when the food is picked raw, it lacks some of those essential minerals and vitamins that help nourish our bodies. At the same time, what you're finding is that we are in a state where the very food we're eating is also grown with a lot of pesticides, herbicides, and everything.
Green harvesting.
And it also inbuilt pesticides right now in the seeds. So what we're getting is what we call is food that does not actually, it fails to feel whole, but doesn't actually nourish our bodies. That is why you're seeing a rise of degenerative conditions like diabetes, high blood pressure, asthma, prostate cancer. Because now we have to remember one thing. Everything comes down to one thing. The inner fabric is important. So Professor Sally put Marina A. Yes. This is mainly for the immune system. Basically, what it does, this is Marina A. It was produced by Professor Sally as something that optimizes immune function, optimizes the body's capacity to heal itself, but also repairs and regenerates the immune system, and also helps to clean out coronary arteries, as well as also helping the body to really regenerate itself. Now, Marina A does, it also strengthens the heart muscles, very good for high blood pressure, and also treating the kidneys as well.
And you've got Mariandina syrup, because I know we're Russia. Where can we find you?
Okay.
Because we've got viewers from all over the world.
Basically, the syrup is
really excited.
Ready for children. And the children, find that also they don't like to eat greens sometimes. So this is very good for nourishing the immune system and helping them to really have the vitality they need. We also got Marina B, which is literally very good for actually improving hormone balance in the body, energy production, circulation. Professor Sally produced this because he realized that a lot of people were suffering from hormone imbalance issues. And we also have a Marina J, which is for detox and cleansing, and also has got a lot of antiviral as well as anti-cancer herbs inside of this to help combat a lot of challenges we're facing today. A lot of our diseases, if you look at our website, mariandina.com, which is MARIANDINA, that's mariandina.com, or you can reach me on 077 659 61818.
Just to say very quickly, and I'm going to apologize, and I was told that when you're doing a live broadcast, own your mistakes. I'm going to own it. We actually have 20 minutes left. So excuse me from that. My producer just said to me, what do you do? You've got 20 minutes left. Sorry about that. We're live. We're live from London, streaming on MediaNet TV. We are in alliance with Flexx FM, the big mighty man over there in Florida, TC Flexx, and your team. We love you. We love you, family. We've got some more time to talk to Stephen Sally. Slow it down. Tell us some more about Mariandina. Tell us some more about the work that you're doing, and maybe we can touch a little bit about the spiritual side of our falling.
Okay, what is most important at this stage is I was telling you about the reason why we should supplement, and I want to send greetings out to Flexx FM and all the listeners out there. I just want to say, really, we are in a state of emergency when it comes to our health as people of African origin, and we have to take ownership of the fact that if we are not careful, we are going to be in a space where the very fabric of what actually keeps us alive is under threat. And now I'm going to say, well, our ancestors never used to take supplements. But in today's time, we are in a state where the food is being used as a weapon. And I'm sorry to say that way. So we have to find a way of getting what is missing in our foods. A lot of trace minerals are missing in our foods. If you're lacking zinc, zinc is the #1 immune booster in the body. Okay, your body needs a lot of zinc. For men, just for formation of sperm needs zinc. So we also need what they call magnesium. Magnesium is another very important nutrient, again, for relaxing muscles and improving the insulin resistance. And if you are lacking things like vitamin C is needed to make something called collagen. Collagen is the most abundant tissue in the body. And with low levels of vitamin C, you find that we are becoming what they call sicker, because the body needs at least 3,000 milligrams of vitamin C on a daily basis. And if you're not getting that, the body goes into deficiency. That's why you find diabetes doesn't come from yesterday. It comes from 5 years of neglect of low mineral availability, low vitamin availability. If you're lacking things like B12 and cobalt, these are to do with mood function. Sometimes people are lacking things like selenium. Selenium is the #1 anti-cancer mineral. So all these minerals, Professor Salas put a lot of stuff, over 99 antioxidants. What you find in today's world is that we are lacking key antioxidants, what are called super antioxidants. People who've got melanin, they would need much more intensive nutrition. And they need to have what they call a dense diet of antioxidants. Now, what is happening today? Why are you seeing, even in the COVID season we're in right now, that more people of African origin are tend to become more vulnerable to this condition? Is because our immune systems have been so ravaged and compromised in so many different ways that we are now having what they call a gift called melanin, but we cannot utilize it properly.
Can it be activated?
Exactly. We've got a double-edged sword. In fact, that now they're saying low levels of vitamin D are leading to what we call predisposition of so many diseases today.
You know, I really want to commend you for saying this, because I didn't want to make this program too political with my own views, but I have my own views with regards to this so-called, I heard somebody call it last week, a pandemic. And I know that it's, I don't know if you heard our earlier guest talked about the body is electromagnetic.
Exactly.
The universe is electromagnetic.
Absolutely.
Okay. And I believe that there are some disturbances being projected through electromagnetic waves that is disturbing this temple, this body.
Absolutely.
And the symptoms are manifesting themselves as COVID-19 or something like that. I don't even want to give the thing any power, because I believe wherever you focus your attention is what you manifest.
Absolutely.
And that's why in a time like this, I want to focus on health, so we can focus on raising our vibration. We know that the food, we don't, for those of us who are not living in our natural space like Africa or the Caribbean, so we're devoid of vitamin D, we have to supplement.
And in here you find there's vitamin D in here.
Yes.
And you also find something called iodine. Iodine is so important for your thyroid.
Yes.
A lot of people are suffering from thyroid imbalances.
Yes.
Okay. If your thyroid is not working well, you can have what they call cognitive impairment, brain fog, erosion of your libido. You can have arthritis starting from thyroid imbalance. You can have cancer starting from thyroid imbalance. You can have things like brain fog. All kinds of things are related, even what they call excessive weight gain or excessive weight loss. So a lot of people have resorted now to find that they've actually started to remove their thyroid. So they've cut, they find a little cut here, they've removed the thyroid, they put them on thyroxine. So what I'm saying is that in today's world, we're seeing in the Western world, we're low on iodine. We're suffering from iodine deficiency. That is why taking supplements like these, which have got good iodine levels, or you can take sea vegetables, but what is here is Professor Salas put everything in a good combination, so you're getting a wide variety of different nutrients all together.
When you say sea vegetables, you're talking about sea moss.
Sea moss.
We call it in Jamaica Irish moss.
Irish moss, that is it. Irish moss or wakame or nori, these are all sea vegetables. But you see, iodine is so critical, and the thyroid is like the conductor for the body. So when the conductor for the immune system is actually not working, all the instruments are playing out of tune. So what we need to do, for example, I was in Ghana recently, and I was doing some consultations for some people, and I found that everybody, out of 10 people, 6 had a thyroid problem. Okay, and I found, why is this the case? And I realized, even in Ghana. So what I realized, you know what happened, is that I realized, I'm just going to give you a bit of this so you can understand. The Ghanaian soil is very low in iodine.
How is that?
Whenever they grow
the way it was.
No, what you find is that this comes back to soil awareness. Now, soil awareness means that certain crops, when you grow them in certain areas, they will have certain different, because of the constitution of the soil, make of the plant. Okay? A cabbage grown in Uganda and a cabbage grown in Iceland is not going to be the same. They'll have a different constituency depending on the nutrients in the soil. So what you're finding is today is that if you look at the soil in Ghana, it's very low in iodine. So a lot of people in Ghana are having thyroid problems. Now, I'm going to give you an example in Jamaica. Jamaica
rich
has
soil.
Exactly, rich soil, but also still something else is going on there. Yeah. In Jamaica, there is now called the prostate cancer capital of the world, and you're finding so many of our brothers over there suffering from prostate inflammation, prostate problems, prostate cancer, and right now Kingston is a prostate cancer capital.
Could that be lifestyle? Could that be?
Now I'm going to tell you what it's connected to. It's connected, and now lifestyle could be here, or you could be in Uganda, could be anywhere. They will have black men living all over the world. Why is it that Jamaica is a concentration of prostate cancer? It also has to do with the soil, because in the soil, when they were planting a lot of the sugarcane, it stripped the soil of a very important component called boron. Now, boron is so essential for prostate function. Now, if you have I'm teaching you about soil awareness and soil technology. If you have low levels of boron in your soil, you're going to end up with a generation that is suffering from prostate issues because of lack of boron. Something so simple. But that's, I'm giving you an example in Ghana, what is happening in Ghana. This is now happening in Jamaica. But you see, people in Jamaica, they're not looking at that.
But are we growing our own foods in Jamaica? Are they important?
Now, a lot of people, even if we're not growing our own food, but we eat, people do eat produce that they grow there from the soil. Okay? So if you're not eating, if you're growing produce in soil that is deficient, eventually what happens is, and a good example is in Senegal, they have a situation where in certain villages in Senegal, there's virtually no heart disease. And they have, when the scientists look at their soil, they found that they have a high degree of selenium in their soil. And they found that virtually nobody had any heart disease. But when they went to another place in China where virtually even young children were having hole in the heart and all kinds of challenges, they found that they have low levels of selenium. And I'm just sharing with you the power of nutrients. And now something so small as selenium or boron or iodine can affect the whole body. So that is why I'm saying supplementation is now key. I'm not making this, you can look at the science behind it. There's so much evidence. But because we don't have time to look into soil awareness and why things are the way they are, we are seeing that there is a generation of us having what they call drug dependency, long-term drug dependency, what they call disease management, pain killing as the order of the day. We are moving into a society where people are now really living with cancer, living with diabetes, living with high blood pressure as a routine. So we have to come out of that. And the only way of coming out of it is go back to nature, use natural remedies, use things that are based in what they call the natural fabric, which the Most High has given you what we call the vibrations that we're talking about to help the body to heal itself.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And, you know, I have never been one I don't get on with my GP. I never did. I'd go there and get diet and no. And I've always been a person that went to homeopathy and herbs. And I can swear by this. But in this time, I found myself being more drawn to nature. I spent a lot of time walking barefooted in the woods. So I'm connecting with the earth.
Absolutely. That's where we have to be.
Every nutrient that's in the earth is in this body.
Yes.
And I've recognized that this skin is porous. Yes. So therefore, I can draw from the earth the nutrients that I need. You know, it's not potent as maybe Africa or the Caribbean, but we've got to start somewhere. I felt the difference. So moving away from any processed food. Bread is processed food. Yep. You know, something simple as that. And most of the food, I'd say 80% of the food, if not more, that we purchase, even vegetables, are GMO produced. So they're not real. They're not natural. You cannot find a seed in an orange. Yeah.
Talk about seedless oranges, seedless grapes.
Seedless grapes.
You can't find seedless grape anymore.
I find seedless grapes. I go to the Turkish community.
Yeah, Turkish community. They have Peru, some from Peru, yes.
And we find them very large.
Yes, but the globe grapes, yes.
So, you know, I don't want to overwhelm the audience because we've got a lot of information. But this is we're here to tell the naked truth. We want to help our situation and our brothers and sisters over the world with the truth. So if a person is watching this program and they've been diagnosed with, let's say we talked to Feisted earlier about his journey and how he cured himself with some of the herbs that he used. You can see his eyes were messed up. But he's got beautiful eyes and clear eyes, and he reversed the whole situation. He was about to have his foot amputated, and with the not the Mariandina, sorry.
Moringa.
Moringa. With the
Yeah.
moringa powder, he used to rub it into his skin. And he saved himself, his foot, by doing that and rub it around his eyes.
Moringa is very powerful.
Absolutely. So, and the black seed oil as well. Now, if there was somebody watching this program and has or knows someone who has any of these ailments, and they're taking these prescribed tablets, where would they start?
I want to just share with you what is important. How does the Mariandina work? The Mariandina is a healing system. Basically, it's based on one thing, is that your body is literally constantly repairing itself. It needs spare parts. And the spare parts are spare parts from nature, not chemical parts. And the brother previously talked about the chemicalization of the world. Today, what we're saying is that whether you're suffering from HIV/AIDS, Professor Sally's original campaign in terms of into research was in HIV/AIDS. HIV/AIDS brings on something called opportunistic infections. In that, every condition, diabetes, high blood pressure, somebody's shingles, anything comes out as a result of a lowered immune system. What you're finding in today's world is that what is killing us is that our immune system cannot respond. So when you talk about HIV/AIDS, Professor Sally treated over 18,000 patients with an 80% success rate. Some of them even came from HIV positive to HIV negative. And even they didn't believe in it. They traveled from Uganda and said, we don't believe that you'll be negative now. Let's just go to England and do a test there. So they came to England and said that you're negative. So that was shown on CNN in 1995. And more people have grown into the awareness of healing using people with brain diseases. I was just going through some of these things. People with brain disease like Parkinson's disease, Alzheimer's, people with dementia. Dementia is killing more people than heart disease today.
Absolutely.
And today, people are having memory loss. But with these products, again, you can help again the body in terms of reversal and correction and helping with dementia, because again, the body deteriorates. Degeneration is part of life as we age, but you can aid the process of repair. Today, you find a lot of people are suffering from asthma. They need Ventolin all the time. They can't breathe because they're getting asthma attack. Again, Marina A and J are very good for making sure that somebody actually corrects. Now, you might say, what exactly can correct something like that? I've been on asthma for the rest of my life. There's not, but in the Western world, they'll tell you there's no treatment. You're just going to be on Ventolin for the rest of your life. No, there's a lot of things like that you can actually put. Others of testimonies on the website. People who've got breast cancer. We had a lady who had breast cancer, and this is a testimony I want to just share with you. This lady had breast cancer, and she said a lump was removed from my breast in 1998 at the teaching hospital in Kumasi. This was in Ghana. And after radiotherapy, I was declared fit. In 2002, another lump started forming, and after tests, it was shown to be cancerous. And I heard of Mariandina in June and 2003. After taking a combination of Mariandina A, B, and J for 2 months, my doctor reported a reduction in size, and after 3 months, it was nowhere to be seen. That was breast cancer.
How long was she taking the Mariandina for?
For 6 months.
Wow,
okay,
that's amazing. And was it a combination of any of these?
A, B, and J, and that shows you many women are having their breasts removed.
That's right.
Because there's a lump in the breast.
All communities.
Yeah, and small communities. So we're seeing that today, that even though natural technology like this or natural nutrients are able to combat and reduce lumps in the breast and completely dissolve them naturally, take them to the kidneys today, taken out of the body.
So if I was a patient, if I was listening to your program and I already had been diagnosed with any of these illnesses that you have mentioned, and I'm taking conventional medicine,
they can be taken alongside.
You can take it alongside.
Yeah. These are completely natural. There's no side effects from them. What you find is that your system is literally going to work in harmony with these, because basically they're from nature. They've got natural components, and they also combine in a way that they actually interface well with the whole body. And also what you're finding today, I was just sharing with you, is that today also a lot of people are suffering from things like chronic fatigue. They're always tired. They wake up tired. They go to sleep tired. This is very good. We've got this for energy. Okay, it actually within a space of 10 days you start to get out of that sort of cycle of waking up tired and going to sleep tired. Yeah. So this is because of the fact that the body is not getting again. But sometimes you got things like what they call mycoplasmas that are also weakening the system. People who've got things like feeling low, depression. A is very good for treating and helping people with depression because it's got St. John's wort and many other nutrients that boost up mood. B12 is very important for mood function. People who've got diabetes, again, the pancreas is failing to produce insulin. So you need to actually find a way of what Professor Zali has done. He's found a way of stimulating the islets of Langerhans to repair them in such a way that they can reproduce insulin again. And that does it with A, J, and B. So people who've got diabetes, sometimes they're on insulin for the rest of their life. The doctor says, you know what, there's nothing we can do. You're going to be on insulin for the rest of your life. But the NHS here is spending $1 million every hour treating diabetes and its complication. Diabetes is the number one amputation, number one cause of amputation.
I heard earlier on with the brother's true story.
We have to now move into a science of saying, you know what, how can we repair our pancreas? How can we regenerate the body? These products regenerate the body. They're natural, they're effective, and they work. And they treat a whole lot of conditions. If people have got loss of libido, period pain, for people who've got psoriasis, all the sciatica conditions like stroke, so many conditions can be again assisted just because of one thing. When your immune system is working properly, the body knows what to do. It has been trained to do exactly what it needs to do.
This body here, this temple, I call it, is the most profound invention.
Exactly. Every 2 months.
Our Father knew everything in advance. He is the Most High.
Exactly.
So this is the most amazing invention with the ability to repair itself of anything. So I call it a holistic approach.
Yes.
It's about wellness. The term well-being has been so touted about by the West that we have really lost the focus of what that means. And it really is about spiritual connection.
Absolutely.
Which includes your diet.
Absolutely. It's a holistic
approach.
Okay, so when you look at holistic, you've got to remember the body's repairing itself, the DNA is repairing itself every 2 months.
Which is the spirit.
Yes, and you at the same time, your stomach lining. Every 5 days you have a new stomach lining. Every 6 weeks you have a new liver. Yes. Every 4 months, your blood is changing. So this is part of what we call our holistic repair.
And
journey.
As you're talking, I'm getting so excited because one day we're going to have a much bigger circle when we can. Because when you talked about soil appreciation or understanding of soil awareness, this is a universal principle.
Absolutely.
We have to understand the sun, the moon, and the stars.
Absolutely.
The cycles, because we were farmers, right?
Absolutely.
We were astrologers. We knew moon cycles. We knew stuff.
Absolutely. We knew
and we
science.
have lost it.
Yes.
Or we're working on the wrong clock.
Yes.
We can't go into all of that. But we have maybe 3 minutes left. We've got lots of comments popping up, but I can't see them. And we're going to work on that. But I want to encourage the guests or the listeners from around the world to, if you have a question and you're going through a situation right now, can they come to you?
Yes.
Where can they find you?
Okay, what we do is that we do health holistic consultations. We also do remote consultations as well. We also find ways of optimizing health by creating awareness of the root cause. Today in the Western world, they're focusing mainly on treating symptoms and signs. What is happening today is just by using nutrition alone and nutritional supplements and natural remedies and natural solutions, you can really help the body to aid it in what it was naturally designed to do. You can find us at mariandina.com, which is MARIANDINA, mariandina.com. Our contact details are there. Our email address is holistichealth1 at gmail.com. That's holistichealth1 at gmail.com. That's holistichealth1 at gmail.com. And what you can also do, you can reach me directly on this number, 077 659 61818. That's 077 659 61818. If you call internationally, 044 or plus 44 77 659 61818. That's 0 plus 44 77 659 61818. I also believe that the Mariandina range, also we've got several outlets on our website, which is mariandina.com. You can find us on there, and you can also reach us. We've got several 50 distributor shops selling our products here in the UK, so you can also access them. And also in the USA, we've got some contacts out there who are on our website who you could reach as well if you're out in the USA. Also, we're also looking for new distributors. If you are in your state and you want to distribute our products, you're welcome to try our range. It's a very well made to very high degree, and it is also made in such a way that it is actually made to very good high quality standards. It has been in business for over 30 years, from 1988 till today, and we are actually in Nigeria, in Ghana. We are also in Malawi. We are also in Uganda. We are also here in the UK and also in America. And also we're planning a major exodus into many other countries as well. So please, if you are willing to help us, because this is about a health campaign. What we want to do is help humanity to access natural remedies. A lot of our ancient ones, like Professor Sally, he has passed on, but he has left the fabric of knowledge. So we want to celebrate people like Dr. Sabi, who was mentioned earlier on, Dr. Africa, who we lost recently as well, and also Professor Sally, and many other healers like Dr. Joe Pokram. We are in a vortex now where we need to really focus on health and wellness. This is the fabric of who we are, and we can only journey forward by making forward movements in that way.
Thank you. I feel so bad cutting in, but I have time. I have time on my hands. I want to say thank you to Stephen Sally, to our earlier guest, Firesteed. Your information is amazing. It's overwhelmingly precise. One day I'm going to arrange it that we have more of you on a platform here where we can sit together on a couch and talk more, maybe 2 hours, because this is not something we can skim over. But we have time on our hands. But we want to say thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in to Conversations with CJ Rose, who I am, in alliance with MediaNet TV and Flexx FM over there in Florida. We just want to say big up to the world, give thanks to the Most High. We have more information to share. Thank you, family. We are one family. Thank you.
Hi, it's Miss Pretty J, host of the New Vibe Show. I know things are crazy right now. Hi, it's Miss Pretty J, host of the New Vibe Show. I know things are crazy right now due to this COVID-19, but I'm asking you to please stay inside, practice social distancing, and wash your hands. I'm here with you every Tuesday and Wednesday night from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. live on www.flexfm.online, talking about real life situations, not forced, not coerced, just present. The best conversations are usually the ones where you don't have to worry about what to say. So please continue to join me in a genuine place where you can put your anchor down and just be you, with the good, the bad, and the sexy.
So, last year you worked around the clock to ensure that this tax season you see a return that may help you to purchase that car that you're longing for, or help you to pay down that interest rate on that mortgage. Well, if you keep doing the same thing over and over and expect a different result, they call that insane! You know what else is insane? All-in-one multi-tax services. All-in-one multi-tax services help you get the most of your return, serving the 52 state nationwide. For information and direction, you can contact Marilyn Johnson at 754-204-1610. That's 754-204-1610. Or stop on by their office at 3888 West Commercial Boulevard in the city of Tamarack. All-in-one Multi-Tax Services LLC gives you the best of your return, offering services that goes above and beyond. So don't hesitate to call Marilyn Johnson at 754-204-1610. All-in-one Multi-Tax Services LLC. Don't forget to ask about our advance loans.
Blessed my people, this is yours truly, Dapper D, Flexx FM representative. And just a quick message for each and everyone out there, I know these times are hard times. I know people want to go out and, we're not really used to being confined and not being able to step out as we feel like it. We understand these feelings and we get where you guys are coming from and we understand the stress. But what I'm saying to you guys is if you don't have to work, if you're not a nurse, a doctor, a police officer, if you don't have to leave your house, if your job is closed, stay home. Don't find a reason to go on the road. If you already shop and you have all your necessities, stay home. If your city, your state, or your country, if they issued any type of warning or any type of lockdown, any type of curfew, obey the curfew, obey the law. We just want everybody to be safe. And of course, keep tuning into Flexx FM, that's flexfm.online, or Flexx FM Radio on Facebook. And you can catch me here Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. Don't forget, stay safe, protect yourself, mask on.
It's insightful. It's factual. It's Flexx News and Sports Daily at 7 a.m., 12 noon, and 6 p.m. on the only station that matters, Flexx FM.
The following program contains language and scenes that some